What if your biggest fear could become your greatest opportunity? Alex had always been terrified of public speaking. Just the thought of standing in front of a crowd made his heart race, palms sweat, and words vanish from his mind. He remembered the first time he gave a presentation in college, when his voice shook so badly that he could hardly finish a sentence. Another memory flashed his first team meeting at work, when he froze mid-sentence and felt all eyes silently judging him. Fear had a way of stopping him before he even began. Today, however, he was determined to take one step forward. He walked into the empty room. Noticing sunlight streaming across the chairs and the faint rustle of papers from the audience preparing, he paused, letting the weight of nervousness settle for a moment. His knees shook slightly as he whispered to himself, "I can do this, just one step at a time." He reflected on all the moments he had avoided speaking, feeling both dread and determination. For weeks, Alex had taken small, deliberate actions to face his fear. Every morning, he practiced in front of the mirror, repeating lines until they felt natural. He recalled the first time he recorded himself on his phone. Watching the footage later, he laughed at his fidgeting, realizing he had room to improve. Once a week, he spoke in front of a trusted friend. He remembered the day he stumbled on a joke, but his friend smiled and encouraged him anyway. And that tiny encouragement became a cornerstone of his progress. Each small step slowly built courage inside him. Every little victory reminded him that fear could be confronted, not avoided. He often reflected quietly, even these small actions matter. Courage grows slowly, like water carving through stone. The day finally arrived when Alex faced a larger audience. Panic surged through him. What if I mess up? What if they laugh? What if I forget everything? His hands trembled, and his throat felt dry. He recalled a previous workshop where his voice had cracked, but he finished anyway and learned he could survive mistakes. He closed his eyes for a moment, imagining every sentence flowing smoothly. With a slow, steady breath, he walked to the podium, each step igniting a spark of courage inside him. He paused briefly at the microphone, feeling the weight of anticipation, and whispered to himself, "I will speak one sentence at a time. I am ready for this moment." As Alex began speaking, his voice wavered, but gradually he found rhythm. He remembered a small classroom applause from years ago and drew strength from it. Friendly faces in the crowd smiled back at him, giving reassurance. With every sentence, he became more present, more in control. The audience responded positively, nodding and applauding. Fear transformed into focus, anxiety into determination. Each past practice, every tiny step, and every memory of previous minor successes led him to this moment. A wave of relief and joy washed over him, a lightness in his chest, as if a heavy weight had been lifted. He allowed himself a brief smile, savoring the triumph of persistence. After the speech, Alex walked off the stage, proud and empowered. He recalled the first day he tried speaking publicly and froze completely. Now, he could hardly recognize that person. Confronting fear, even in small doses, created growth. Courage was not the absence of fear, it was acting despite it. He felt a deep sense of accomplishment and confidence, realizing he could face future challenges with a newfound strength. Facing your fears step by step transforms them into opportunities. One small, brave act can change everything. If you're ready to face your fears, subscribe to Talevara and watch our next story about courage.